Hey TikTok, it's B3 back with another kicking action figure showcase. Yes, today we are doing more Kaiju, and I wanted to start off with one of the big three, Gamera. This is the Bandai Japan movie monster series Gamera. Very, very cool. This is from Gamera Guardian of the Universe. It's their most recent version of the Guardian of the Universe Gamera, and it's a very, very nice figure. Very happy to have it in my collection. I have all the Heisei Gameras except for, Toto. But yeah, it's a magnificently sculpted figure, painted pretty well, but really the sculpt is what shines on this Japanese piece of art. Also, if you haven't seen the Heisei Gamera movies, highly recommended, including the fourth one, which is very underrated. All right, now let's get into some Ultraman stuff. How about a Spark Doll with the Ultra 500 Kimmerman? Kimmerman originally appeared in Ultra Q, which is the first show of the Ultra series, and it didn't have Ultraman in it. Ultraman came along in the second series, Ultraman, and then we had Ultra 7, which kind of was retconned into being an Ultraman because Ultraman was so popular. He was supposed to be kind of something different, but they just kind of made him an Ultraman. But Kimmerman is a Seijin, technically, not a Kaiju, so he is an alien. And they actually recycled part of the suit. They flipped the head around backwards and then put it on a suit body and made the alien Zeton, or Zeton Seijin. But yeah, this is a very good figure. It actually has more paint than you can probably tell that it has. It actually has a lot of paint on the body itself. So yeah, I actually think it's one of the better Spark Dolls in my collection because of the decent amount of paint on the body. So let's put Kimmerman to the side. He's also scannable, interestingly enough. And then we have another Spark Doll. It is the Ultra Monster series Xeragus. Xeragus is actually from one of my favorite Ultraman episodes, Don't Shoot Arashi. It's a very interesting kaiju. Whenever it is attacked, like its carapace falls off and reveals all of these missiles. Yeah, so the more it's attacked, the more dangerous it becomes. And this is also painted a bit better than the average Spark Doll. It's still lacking leg articulation like Spark Dolls often are, but a lot of paint on the back, which we often don't get for Spark Dolls. Very, very cool. And these are both older kaiju. This one's from the original Ultraman, and as I said, Kimmerman was from Ultra Q. Move you to the side. And then this next one is another Ultra Monster series figure from Bandai Japan, but it's a DX figure. This is a deluxe boy, much bigger. Thunderkiller. I actually love this figure. So there's a show called Ultraman Geed, and it had all these fusions of classic Ultra foes made by Ultraman Belial, which is what this chest resembles. This is the classic Ultra 7 foe, Ella King, an electric kaiju fused with Ace Killer, a robot made to kill Ultraman Ace. Both very big, important foes, and they were fused together by an evil Ultraman into this form. It could still use a little more paint, like some of these cracks. You can see how they're painted in here, but not all over. So there could be a bit more paint on this guy, but he does have a lot more paint than a standard. This is kind of a bigger 6-inch, much like the movie Monster Series Gamera you saw. As you can see, it scales much better with that. So this is kind of an older scale, but a newer figure. It's several years old still, but I actually think this is a very underrated design. I think that Ace Killer and Ella King fuse together quite well. I really, really do. This is not the easiest figure to come by these days either. This one and Gamera there, both are often displayed on my desk because I love them so much. Right now it's a few Godzilla finger puppets from a previous video, I believe, but let's move you out of there. And then the last one we have for today is this, another movie monster series, Godzilla. Now you might look at this Godzilla and it invokes images of Godzilla -1, but if you look closely, this is actually not Godzilla -1. This version of Godzilla came before, but it's not a version of Godzilla we ever got here in the States. I ordered this guy through a proxy a while back. I think you can actually get him in the US now on the US Godzilla website. Godzilla Store website, but this is the original Japanese version. This is the Universal Godzilla. You see, Universal Studios had a Godzilla ride where he fought Ghidorah, and this is the Godzilla design from that. The Godzilla -1 design actually seems to be a retool, but this guy does have a lot of differences. He has more traditional spines. He has much bigger paws, and they do look like paws. He has these really cool ankylosaur-esque bumps on the end of his tail. And the thing that sets this figure apart, really, from the -1 Godzilla Movie Monster Series figure, is that it has much better paint apps. It has paint apps really all over. It was, I believe, an exclusive, and it still kind of is for the website. It's really nice. It's a really nice Godzilla. It's a great design, and I love that his eyes are all white. That I just always think that looks really cool in a Godzilla. But yeah, this is a really, really nice figure. So that's it. Yeah, I'm trying to keep them shorter, so I'm maybe going to try to limit myself to like 5 figures per video. But I hope you enjoyed our second Kaiju action figure showcase. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out local links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. That's my YouTube saying. That's what I say to end YouTube videos. I don't really need to say that here on TikTok. I'll get you guys my links. Check out my YouTube link at the top of the page. That's it. That's all I got.